Hello. I was all happy to be here, so I just jumped in early in case anybody wanted to come in early and ask any questions or needed any help. I don't know about you all, but I feel like there is some crazy energy today. hmm Yep, I do. hmm So we'll just wait until we get actually to 7 o'clock, but I'm here. Hmm. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome. I just came on a little early today in case anybody had any questions. I feel like there's been some really crazy energy out there. So I also think I have something in my eye. Um, so I just figured I was ready to go. So why not open up a little early so that I could be here for you if you had any questions about anything or before we get started. We'll talk about our breath. To get this out of my eye. But if you have any questions about anything, feel free. Bonus time. And hopefully you can hear me okay. Oh my goodness. Yes, my love. It is so good to see you. Oh, my Nancy. I'm sending you so many hugs and kisses. Yes, there is definitely crazy energy. So I think I'm going to wait until we get a few minutes past 7 to be official. I would hate for anyone to think we started without them, but yes, there is definitely crazy energy and I will gladly share my thoughts. How are you doing over on the other side of the country, my dear friend? Hopefully, all is well and you are safe and healthy, all of you. I think we can all use a collective deep breath. Mm-hmm. I think I think our whole country can use a collective deep breath. Oh, it's 7 o'clock now. Yay! So people should be coming in. Yay! So we have a couple of things going on with the crazy energy. So this is my thoughts. Just my thoughts about the crazy energy. Oh, let me put my phone on quiet before I share my thoughts about the crazy energy. So there's a couple of big things that are going on. First of all, we have um, 4 planets still in retrograde, which makes everybody want to just pull their hair out. That's the one. Next month, we'll finally be able to see some of that shifting. Ah, I'm so glad, Nancy. So just makes my heart so happy to see you, or see your name and your little tiny face. So we have like 4 planets still in retrograde. So that's the first thing that's going on. The second thing is that we've come off the full moon, and as we come down from the full moon back towards the new moon, energy starts to wane. So energy builds up to the from the um, from the new moon to the full moon, and then comes back down from the full moon to the new moon. Working. Okay, Robin, mwah, love to see you. Do what you need to do. New client, yay, manifesting. Love you back, and we'll look forward to seeing your comments on the replay. Yay! Glad you have power back. So we have that going on with the planets in retrograde. We have the energy going up to the full moon and coming back down. So we're on the other side of that crest, and the full moon is just about a week or so away. So, I mean, the new moon, pardon me, is just about a week or so away. So we are feeling that dip. Okay. So the other part is we're coming into the position of the Lionsgate portal. It's a great time for manifestation. It's also a great time for releasing. And when we don't sit down and take time and go, okay, what do I need to release? What am I trying to manifest? And we really actually connect with ourselves to take stock, that Lionsgate can kind of come in and be like a bulldozer. So it's really important that we are preparing ourselves, and that we are aligning ourselves, getting in tune with our higher self, with our higher mind, our higher guidance, and that also that we are taking some time to assess, am I on my life's purpose path? So it's one of the things that that really we're seeing so much of this tumult with the unemployment and all the different things from the virus, is people are being shifted into other jobs. And so whether it's that your job went away and you need to find work doing whatever you could find, or if you got furloughed or released from a job that you didn't like anyway, and this is your opportunity to look for something else, there are so many blessings and shiftings going on within this self-identification period of time of the economic crisis in this country and many other countries due to the virus. When people are being released from jobs, they're having to rethink and re-examine their lives. And that is all part of the cosmic design. Take a good look at what you are doing and where you are going, and decide for yourself, is that really what I want and where I want to go? The other part of that is, how do I want to say this? When you are looking, and if you've never taken the time to get your astrological chart done, it's a really cool thing that you can do. I am so pleased to be embarking on my starting my education with astrology, and there's so much to learn there, but I'm so excited to be starting this and learning little bits and pieces. And one of the things that, and to be sharing, the bits and bobs that I'm learning. But if you go to astro.com, astro.com, you can, and I'll even just put it in the comments for your birth chart. So you can go in and put in the information, and when you look at your birth chart, you'll see the line of the horizon going across around the circle, right? And your mom is in the center, and you have the big black line that goes across the horizon, and then there's another black line that is the vertical. It might not be exactly vertical, but that's the midheaven, and that's going to point, where is that sign where you were born? And that's the sign that you were born under. So for me, it's Capricorn. But that sign, learning about that sign where your midheaven is when you were born, tells you so much about your life's purpose. And I really love that this was shared with me at such a timely time, because really this is so much about what's going on right now. It's so much about living in your purpose, and what is your purpose, and how do you find that out, and are you really doing what you came here to do, and staying in that alignment. Okay. So that's the other part of it. The other part of it, goodness, my hair is just going bananas today. The other part of it is, yesterday in this country, Joe Biden finally announced his running mate in Kamala Harris. And so in this country, and probably in other countries, there was a huge, almost like an energetic belch, like, that really rude person that just burps, right? So no matter which political party you are in, or whether you're on the right or on the left or whatever, there was this huge energetic belch of people that finally, to be able to say, we finally know what November looks like, or we know what the rest of election cycle in this country is going to look like. And for a lot of people, it was like, okay, now it's game on in both sides. And so there was this almost like this release of this energy of people going with this kind of cosmic belch of, okay, I've waited too long, I've had too much, and now I'm like, okay, now I know where to go and whatever your thoughts are about that. But there was a huge shift with that piece of information being announced yesterday, and that kind of arc of energy has moved itself into today. And we saw this with news cycle last night and into today, and we'll see this, I think, for another couple of days as people start to assimilate information. And again, it isn't about how you feel about the information personally, whether you're left, right, I don't care, but it is about that nationwide reaction, because this election cycle in this country is so supercharged, and we're seeing that in lots of countries, that when this big piece of information was dropped, a whole lot of people had a very serious emotional reaction. And a lot of people were like, yay, and other people were like, boo. And there was a whole lot of energy. So this is why I keep referring to it as this sort of this cosmic belch that happened yesterday, because a whole lot of people came out and had an expression. They had a very strong reaction. There are very few people that I was hearing from or seeing that had sort of a middling reaction, like, oh, Kamala Harris, okay. Most people had a very strong reaction, and we are seeing that so much in our country as things have continued to become more polarized over the last few months, the last 3.5 years, and that will continue. That polarization is going to continue no matter what happens in November in this country. That polarization is going to continue. So what we saw was really this big release of energy yesterday. And again, I've talked about this before, energy is not instant. So when we have this big release of energy, whether it's the Lion's Gate or the full moon or the new moon or a planet that's in retrograde that goes direct, we have this release of energy. It's not like a light switch. It's not like it goes on, goes off. That's not how energy works. And so we have this release of information. Joe Biden announces his running mate, and we see this almost like that mushroom cloud. And I'm not equating it to like a nuclear explosion or anything like that, but just to see this evolvement of this energy as it unfolds. And then it's going to take some time for it to settle back down again. So it's not an instant thing. And so when we feel these big shifts of energy, it's not like a switch. It may spike. Like if you watch the Schumann resonance at all, which is a thing, you can look it up. It's an energy gauge in Russia, actually, up near the North Pole, that is about measuring the energetic patterns of the planet. And it's interesting to watch as over the last few years, the resonance, the energy pattern of the planet has been just maxed out. Like they've had to like open up the gauge or like make bigger graphs, because the energy has just been, it would go up and then come down with like after 9/11, it went way up and then it came back down. And right now it's just not coming down, it's just up. And so we are feeling that collective energy. And when you live in a place of crisis, if you have been in crisis for a prolonged period of time, you can have adrenal burnout. So we understand fight or flight, right? So when you are in like, oh my God, so you have that burst of adrenaline, right? That jumps out at you and helps to rescue you and save you, and move you out of danger very, very quickly. But then your adrenaline comes back down. As a society, and I don't just mean the US, but as a society, as a planetary society, we have been living in a place of adrenaline for years. And for some people, they'll say it started, with the last presidential election cycle. Some people will say it's since the presidential election. Some people say it's since, the Amazon was on fire, or the, whatever was going on, that there has been, as we have seen, the virus for sure has been causing this collective stress level. And then, we've had hurricanes and tornadoes and I can't even think of what else. We had, massive fires in California. We had massive fires in the Amazon. We had massive fires in Australia. People joking about, 2020 and like the killer murder hornets and just all kinds of wacky things. And so with all of that comes that rise in adrenaline within our own selves. And so as we are living more of our day-to-day life with our adrenaline higher as a collective society, we come into this place of adrenal fatigue, where we ourselves as individuals can just feel like we're exhausted all the time because we feel like we're always on this adrenaline, like on hyper alert, right? What's going to happen next? We're feeling that as a collective society. And so as humans, especially as humans like us, who are drawn to websites like this, and people like me who are, where you're drawn to someone like me because you feel that empathic connection. You are someone who feels energy more deeply. You feel the pain or the joy of other people, of the collective society. So for us coming together on a Wednesday night for a few minutes of meditation becomes super important, because it's a place for us to say and to have this sort of collective exhale where we can bring that energy down, and we are not having to stay up in that adrenal hyper alert waiting for the next crazy ass murder hornet brain eating bacteria thing to befall us. Okay, so it is really important that we are giving ourselves that time to just breathe. And that's actually what I wanted to talk about tonight. So Nancy, I hope that helped answer the question of what is going on with all the crazy energy right now, especially in the last 24 hours or so. But that's what I wanted to bring it back around to talk about tonight, is the breath. So if you've been meditating with me on Wednesday nights, I like to start with what I call conscious breathing, where we breathe in as deeply as we possibly can, and we hold that breath, and then we release and we exhale and we push that air out, and we really fully exhale as much as we can, and we hold that empty. And lots of different groups and cultures and things have this kind of breath. The Navy SEALs actually use it. They call it box breathing. So you go up, you hold, you exhale, you hold. So it's like a box. And so for me, I call it conscious breathing, because you are breathing in a very conscious manner, where you are, I'm so glad, Nancy, where you are feeling the breath come in through the nose, back to the throat, down the neck, and into the lungs, expanding the entire body cavity all the way down to your belly button, and holding that. So you've taken in as much air as you possibly can, and you hold that empty, that hold full. And then you use your abdomen muscles to push and contract and push the air back up through the diaphragm, back to the lungs, even though it didn't really leave your lungs, to push that back up into the lungs, up into the throat, and back out through the mouth, so that you are having a full body breath, not just, because when we get stressed out, we breathe very shallow, okay, we breathe more quickly. When we're relaxed, we breathe more deeply and more slowly. But sometimes we need a little help to really release all the tension and that crazy energy, so that we can settle into a nice, calm meditation. So tonight, what I want to walk you through is, I really like to take those conscious breaths in 3, because I feel like when you do that 3 times, you have fully transferred all the oxygen in your body and re-oxygenated your blood, and really cleaned out your body very quickly and, very superficially, but getting that jump start of putting that clean, fresh oxygen in. Also in your lungs, we have these hairs in the lungs that filter the air for us. But when we're stressed out, we breathe up here, and this is a lower concentration of these hairs, the cilia. And down here, when we breathe deeply, this is where the higher concentration of the cilia is to clean the air. So when we're stressed and we breathe up here, we're not breathing as clean. We're not cleaning the air enough. We want to breathe deeplier. Deeplier. I said deeplier. Hi, Claudette. More deeply. So we want to breathe more deeply. But I don't want to keep you in that, because that's not relaxing. Okay, so once we do our 3 conscious breaths, where I want you to go is find the level for you. I want you to focus on your breath tonight and really find that level of, I can breathe deeply without feeling stressed. So when we take those first 3 conscious breaths, we are putting emphasis on the breath. We are active in the breath, in those first 3 conscious breaths. But after that, I want you to breathe to the edge of that. So we breathe in more deeply, just to the point of where we would have to work a little. I don't want you to work after those 3 conscious breaths. So just to the point where we would have to work a little. And hold it as long as it's comfortable, just to that point where you might have to work a little. And then exhale through the mouth, just to the point where it's comfortable. And it's going to be different for everyone. So I'm not going to count or guide you through that part other than to say, breathe in, breathe out. That speed is up to you. But I want you to bury yourself in your breath tonight. So each week we try to do something a little bit different. And this evening I want to really encourage you to bury your brain into the breath, okay? Because when we can, you've heard me talk a lot about how I have my little meditation place in my mind that I can just close my eyes, take a deep breath, and in my mind, I'm going down the stairs, through the stone arch, over the bridge, and I'm on the big fluffy pillows, okay? And if you've meditated with me on Wednesday night, you've heard me talk about that place. That I've done it so many times in my mind that I can literally be like, yep, there I am. Like, I don't have to go through this whole conscious breath thing because I've conditioned my brain to know where we're going and what we're doing. And it's like an instant relaxation. And so this breath that we're going to work on tonight, that's just to the edge of effort, is a relaxation technique that I want to teach you so that you too can become so practiced that if you just say breath technique, you can really just instantly feel the relaxation sink into you when you practice it. Okay, so this is a relaxation breathing technique, but what's important is that it connects in the mind. Okay, this isn't just I'm breathing in and breathing out, but we're focusing on the breath so that we're training the brain that when I breathe this way, I expect my body to react this way. So many of us, we go through our lives reacting to the way our body reacts instead of choosing how we want to react and choosing how we want to interact with things. And that is one of the things that we're going to be talking about a lot in my upcoming Empowered Empath class, is how we can control the body so that we decide how we react instead of like having that, oh, what? Oh. So today, for example, I felt this just huge wave of anxiety and I knew it wasn't mine. And I could feel myself having that knee-jerk reaction of how you would if you had a huge wave of anxiety. And I said, no, ask, is this mine? No, it's not. What do I want to do with this? I'm like, well, I don't want to keep it, but I would like to figure out what's going on. And so I kind of sat in it for a minute and I moved it to the side. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about in the Empowered Empath class. But we moved it to the side so that I could kind of feel what was behind it, which is what led me to all the crazy ass energy that I was feeling, because that's where it was coming from. So that kind of cycles us back to where we started from. So if you all are ready, and I thank you for your patience in indulging me. I know I came on a little bit early tonight to answer some questions. So, and we got to talking about the crazy energy today. So if you all are ready, I will encourage you to get comfortable. We're going to do our 3 conscious breaths, and I will walk you through that. And then I'm going to leave you to breathe deeply and really focus on your breath. I want you to sink into the breath so that you're breathing deeply, but just to the edge of effort, okay? And you hold that breath just to the edge of effort, and then you exhale the breath. How hard and how long is up to you, just to the edge of effort. Okay? And we're going to just breathe. And thoughts that come in, welcome them. Let them just flow down that river, right? They're going to be waiting for you in the catch pool at the bottom. Okay? And just whatever thoughts that come in. And it's really amazing what can happen when we focus singularly on the breath. We occupy that left brain, and the right brain can fly free. So we're going to start with the conscious breath, and we'll do those 3 conscious breaths. So let me grab up some music for us to use tonight. And make sure you can hear it okay. And so I invite you to just get comfortable. And just go ahead and close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. And we're going to start with that conscious breath. So if you can, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And we're going to breathe in through the nose as deep as you can. Breathe in strong. Fill your whole body with air. Take in as much as you can. And hold. And exhale. Use your belly to push that air out. Empty. Get empty. And hold. And again, breathe in. Deeply. Bring in as much air as you can. And exhale. Empty. And breathe in. And breathe out for our last conscious breath. And now just breathe. Breathe deeply, just to the edge of effort. So as you breathe in, you decide where you need to stop. And hold it. And breathe out. You decide where to stop. And just focus on the breath. I breathe in. I hold it. I breathe out. I hold it. And I'm going to just leave you here for a few moments to really work on this meditation technique of this relaxing breath. Relaxation breathing, training the brain. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in deep. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just to the edge of effort. Just continue to breathe in and hold and breathe out, just to the edge of effort for you. Focusing on the breath, focusing on breathing in, hold, and breathe out. Hold. Breathing deeply, but just to the edge of effort for you. To completely relax the body with the breath, in the breath. Just to the edge of effort. Continue breathing. In and hold, and out and hold. Just to the edge of effort for you. Breathe in and breathe out, just to the edge of the effort. And as we start to come to the end of our time, I invite you to take one more deeper breath and begin to bring your awareness back to the room where you're sitting. Shake your shoulders a little bit, move your hips in the seat, wiggle your toes. And before you open your eyes, take one more just satisfying deep breath. Not so deep as conscious breath, not to stopping at the edge of effort, but a little further, just that, that satisfied deep breath as you sink into the chair, content and relaxed, welcoming yourself back to your body, back to the room where you are. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And thank you for participating. I know this was a little different. I try and bring you something different each week, different meditation techniques. It's all about learning. It isn't about being perfect in meditation, but it is, especially for those people who say, oh, I can't meditate. Sure you can. Sure you can. It just takes a little practice, takes a little breathing, a little being willing to pay attention to the breath and focus on the breath. And if you have comments or questions or feedback, I welcome that so much in the comments. Raphael, what a joy to see you pop in today. Oh, what a joy to see your name pop up. It's my old friends week evening today. But if you have comments or questions, please don't hesitate to put those in the comments. I hope this is a meditation technique, this breath, this relaxation breathing that helps you learn a different way so you can learn to connect your brain to your breath so that in moments of stress, you can calm yourself down. On my personal page, I shared that last Friday I had a very frightening run-in with an alligator in my kayak. And the alligator charged at me in the water. He came up from the bottom and came up like this, mouth open, and he was ready to, I don't know if he was going to leap into my boat, but alligators are very good climbers. So I saw him coming from under the water, and my adrenaline, you fight or flight. I was definitely in the flight, and I paddled so quick away, but not to stay in that heightened adrenaline because I was, oh, mwah, thank you, my Nancy, mwah. Thank you for visiting. I hope you'll come back. I could not stay in that place of heightened adrenaline because the diver was going into the water to go and capture the alligator. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you. So wonderful to see you. Hug everyone at home. Stay safe. So I had to bring my energy down very quickly so that it would not transfer to him or to the alligator while he was going to put himself in danger to capture the alligator. And learning to control your breath and to tie that to your conscious thoughts so that you can bring your stress levels down quickly and consciously can make a humongous difference in your life. So when we are in stressful situations where, maybe a car accident or an illness right now is a very top of mind stress factor, right? So wherever it is that is causing stress in your life, excuse me, being able to consciously tap into that breath and just breathe a few times with that just to the edge of effort, and really being able to control your energy and control your stress levels. So much of illness that we contract in our bodies as humans comes from stress, especially for women. Heart disease, so much comes from stress. But so much illness that we can bring into our bodies comes from stress. So learning to control that and to consciously control our energy and our stress levels through the breath can make a humongous difference in your life. And so I thank you for joining me this evening. I am always just so honored when you show up to meditate with me and to spend a few minutes. I hope it is always hope it is of value and something that will bless your life. And I just thank you so much for spending some time and sharing this beautiful space with me. I send you so much love and light and safety and virtual hugs as you go on your ways. Please stay safe. Please stay with your breath. Keep your stress levels down. It's going to be important for all of us. Good night. Have a beautiful rest of your evening.